Time to work on some harvesting today. We shall rent a 8120 for the day. We'll rent it for 2 hours. Headers. Go ahead and rent that. 2 hours. That. Okay. This guy. This is PK. And I will fill it with NPK. Our soybeans are a little bit low. Currently on multiplayer, so can't really do much. So we're just here spraying our soybeans until we run out. I went ahead and planted alfalfa. We plowed in, or I should say we cultivated in our grass. Hopefully we get a little bit more tonnage out of that field, and these, once we're finished with harvesting this field and the other wheat field, we'll probably plant alfalfa there and just start selling off our cattle and make hay. do something a little bit different. So this is pretty much where we put down the solid manure. It's 7, 3, and 29, and then let's get up close to the road up here. 9, 6, 4, 1, 4, and 1. This is where we put down the liquid. So solid manure is a lot more beneficial. Imagine running a 120-foot boom in real life would be a real pain unless you're on a little bit flatter ground or you're going a little bit slower speed. I don't know if like something like this would have auto-adjusting booms or if you have to raise it manually. Either way would be annoying because just your speed of that you're spraying, the flex would, the suspension, the flex, and the boom would probably hit ground regardless. But in game, it sure is great. So it's been a while. I mean, it's been a couple weeks since I planted these beans and did all the tillage and stuff, old video. triples on, or row crops on, but the amount of weight that would be in these tanks would I'd probably just sink into this ground with these single narrow tires. So I'll probably call it there, and then start taking down some of our wheat. Planted that for the straw, not for the grain. Seems to be locked and loaded. I think we'll just unload this grain into our haylage trailer for now, since we're not really equipped for grain. We don't even have a small grain cart or anything, so. Our corn on this map is pretty much all withered away. some old standing crops. But that will all wither away eventually. Might as well just drive on down here to the back end of 35. So that's all the withered corn. Soybeans were planted a stage later, so piling facilities. So here's our soybean field, our new alfalfa field, neighbor's withering crop. You got the old farm and the new beef farm. Pretty much unlock it. So our crop isn't going to be the greatest. Our nutrients are pretty low, but for its first harvest, it shouldn't be that bad. Pretty low nutrients over here. Strongly acidic. So the plan is to probably, once we get our harvest finished and we bale all this straw, to throw down some manure on this field, plow this field, then maybe see what how the nutrients are, and then if need be throw down some more, and then cultivate and then plant alfalfa here. So this will be another alfalfa field. Now, this current version of soil mod, you can actually let the alfalfa grow a few stages and then cultivate it under, and you'll actually get some pretty decent benefit for doing that. It's basically utilizing it as a cover crop. Same thing with clover. I don't have clover on this map though. But basically, if you don't want to spray synthetic or manure, you can just plant your cover crop, let it grow a stage or two, and plow it under. And you'll get some pretty decent nutrients incorporated into your soil without really adding any kind of acidity and stuff like that. So soil moisture is pretty low. Should be around 70%. Our pH is a little bit acidic. Our nutrients are also pretty low. You should be harvesting around 7 and 4, 7 nitrogen, 7 pK, or 4 pK. So we're a ways away from ideal conditions, but we're not grain farmers, so we don't really care. Soybeans, though, if we can get the moisture and the nutrients up to a little bit more favorable conditions, I think we'll be able to make some decent money on that field, because that's a lot of beans planted. We have our air reel installed. A little bit better over here. 62 and 58, but there we go, 7. Wow. The grain is just skyrocketing. It's adding about 100. Or about 70 liters per tick on our glance mod over here, versus it was only adding 10. So we're about 7 times more productive over on this side of the field. Now it's only adding about 50. this wheat is, you know, theoretically perfect yield is like 110 bushel an acre, I think. Tree branches. So hopefully we get a little bit better yield on this side of the field now. I can't remember where I ran out of manure. I think it was, well, we're at 6 and 2 with decent moisture, so far we're doing pretty good right here. It must have just been that last pass I ran out. 4, 5, 5 and 2, 6 and 2. We're a little bit basic, as over there we're a little bit acidic. So it's a little tough once your field gets a little bit inconsistent with its nutrients to balance it all out. So anyways, I figured we'd start on this side and work our way back to the farm. A little bit weedy, but this is that's pretty low. 4 and 1. Whoops. Up the hood. Pretty dusty. around 60. So we're pretty much at like 60% yield where we really should be. So I guess that's what we get for neglecting our crops and fast forwarding time. But like I said, we're not really interested in yield, really. Planted this for the straw, but it turns out we're not really going to be growing our beef operation anymore. We pretty much called it a day at 3,000 and slowly selling off that. We still have like 400,000 in debt from our loans that we took out to acquire more land, and between selling off the rest of our beef, we'll probably keep around 1,000, so we'll probably sell off like another 1,500 or whatever we have left. Yeah, that's the enormous amount of money right there. And then from the sale of our wheat and soybean crop, I think we'll be sitting really well to buy up some more land, at least 2 more T8s, another triple mower, another merger, some stackers, probably another truck. So we have a lot of equipment to acquire and some land to acquire to really get this whole hay production under control. And I'm also curious if this alfalfa will regrow with soil mod. I've had to install this map for months now, but have never really got around to planting alfalfa and seeing if it will regrow or if it will wither. So that's something that I'm kind of curious about. Did a lot of crop farming, did a lot of animals, and so now just looking at something different, a different way to go about making money in the game. A lot of people do silage, but your biogas facility, unless you make a separate cell trigger just for silage, your BGA can only accept so much silage per hour, and then you need to buy it and everything. So I think just making hay instead of chopping it, baling it and selling it at the bale facilities, I think that's a pretty good way to make money. It's almost like a side farm, so to speak, but I don't know. Straw's pretty much worthless for per price. You get like 100 or whatever per bale, versus a good like 1,200-1,300 for a hay bale. And it's we can mow this. We just mow this all the way down, but the value of this is in the grain, not the straw. So it's just nice to put into your feed for cows or put down for solid manure. But I mean, you really don't need it if you have enough silage and hay. That you don't really need to use it as a filler. So I took out my old machinery rental, I put in the new one that the author released, and it's pretty convenient. You can configure in your save game folder, because as default it's just really outrageously high, and so by changing it in your save game folder to something more reasonable, your hourly rate and day rate, that It's a lot more realistic. But the way it's set up now, it's no errors. You don't have to reset anything. It doesn't conflict with drive control, and you can use the standard menu. It doesn't have its own menu anymore. So really like it. 5-star. It's the only picky thing I have about it is you can't really adjust any settings of the mod until you save your game and go back and adjust it. So it needs to be installed. I mean, I guess you can like copy and paste it from one save game to another. You could easily do that, but you definitely need to like open up the game and save it before you can edit just the way it's encrypted and such. So. But I'm pretty excited. I'm also pretty excited. I've started working on the land roller, 45 foot, and some peanut harvesting equipment's currently being built. So a lot of the few things I've been looking to get into for a while finally happening. Next up is to get a decent 3-section seed drill. So you can keep planting alfalfa and grasses and stuff like that. So I was looking at the dedicated servers, and it seems I don't know if it's possible, but like if you get a server, you know, not by Giants, but like some other server, and you pay for like 2 gigs of memory. Giants only lets you upload like 1 gig of mods, so I don't know if there's a way to increase that or a way to get around that, but right now it seems like the only way to MP is if I host, because going through the dedicated server it's limited to 1 gig in mods. So you know, even if you pay for more memory on your server, you can only upload so much. So that was pretty disappointing, unless someone knows something I don't. I tried searching around and a little bit tonight, didn't really see anything that allows me to increase the ability to up my memory for dedicated server. So I think it's just going to be me hosting. Which sucks, because I mean, it would be cool to just, you know, have a game that anyone could log on to at any time and, you know, mess around, versus everyone needs to kind of like coordinate together. You know, before you could, with a dedicated server, you could be like, okay, these are the things that need to get done whenever like you want to play, log on, help out, but cool if Farm Sim was more like MMO kind of game, like massive multi player, like online, where you could play online with like all kinds of people, you know, and everyone, like you could buy land and you had like your own little land, and you can sell land to other people, or you know, buy land. And I think that would be a really cool, like, I feel like that would be extremely successful if they were to develop something like that. And modders would like release mods to giants and not release to like public threads. So, and if it was accepted by giants to be used in the game for everyone, that the modder would be compensated for, you know, a really well done mod that everyone uses. I think that is something that they should really consider, is basically turning this into, instead of only like, because right now it's okay, but if it were something like, back in college I used to play Star Wars The Old Republic, and I liked it, but everyone was so, it was so big and it was so strange, and but I like the idea of just being able to log on and you see other users, and but at the same time, like, nothing is changing. And then there's another game, like some kind of starship game, forget, like EVE Online I think it is, where it's, you know, it's like one of the biggest multiplayer online games. But I think that's a direction that they really should consider, and I think they would get a lot more people interested in modeling, and modeling well, if they were able to, instead of holding these random contests, if, you know, the real contest is if you submit, it's approved, you get compensated for your work, and, you know, everyone gets to use it then, and no one really has the ability to upload it, or, you know, you really can't do anything with it because you can only use it in this multi, you know, approved, that you have to download from a giant's authentic site kind of thing. So in order to use in game, like, you can't use out. Oh crap! I screwed up again. So that's just like something I've been thinking about lately. It would definitely add to the gaming experience if you just had